leverage on. So this is the concept that we want to play upon, and the site coverage is a healthy 36.9%, with a GFA of 9924.24. With this, I just want to share that, like all of us, the engineers here, we conducted our ICE meetings, the integrated concurrent meetings with all our designers. We actually conceptualized this with all IDEO, basically interior designers, engineers, architects, and landscape architects. We did integrated digital delivery through most of our platforms, including BIM 360 as our collaboration tool. And we actually looked into green building through the PEB, ZAB, and SLAB considerations, and robotic construction in the sense that we actually 3D printed our MET models, and we can actually show it to you guys later. So, Brian?
So now I'm going to walk you through our entire building. Alright, so let me bring you through our project, D-Hub. Situated near the promenade of Coney Island, it is a place where startups and freelancers can collaborate, share, and play. These are some of the collaboration platforms that we use during the process. From workshop spaces to gyms and outdoor sensory gardens, PD Hub is a platform to stimulate the exchange of ideas, feedback, and experimentations on its way to becoming a successful technological company. With the intention to promote the idea of play, the Biotope and Casuarina Exploration Trail are designed in place. The fully open concept of this such that the general public have access to all floors, encouraging the exchange of feedbacks of the products. Optimal wind flow and daylighting are put into consideration of building design of the spaces. Illustrating a PPVC module, the building is capable of deconstructing by itself after the building lifespan. With the virtual design and construction simulation, we're able to understand the construction sequence of the building and gather that the building is constructed within 9 months. Meandering through the central atrium lined with landscape, you can see different permutation of screens that jut out into space, granting a level of intimacy to the workspaces. So this is how we came up with the computation design of screens that turns in the railing as well. So moving to the upper floors, the voids serve as a buffer from the offices and pockets of workspaces. Users can simply retract the automated sliding facade on the natural and rely on the natural sea breeze instead of air conditioning in the offices. When small offices emerge to become medium in size, they can expand and break the partition wall between two offices. There are also informal meeting spaces that open into the auditorium. After all of the working, one can take a break at a promenade, have a cup of coffee along the alfresco cafe, and enjoy the landscape. There's also a pit stop for joggers and cyclists to refresh themselves after another lap. At the end of the day, D-Hub seeks to reconnect back to the site, whereby our building and the casuarina trees blankets over the landscape of Coney Island. So with that, before we end our presentation, judges and fellow audiences, may we invite you to pull out your phones and scan the QR code displayed on the screen to experience how it's like to be in D-Hub. With that, we end our presentation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll open the floor to as many questions as you like.
Comments? Questions?
Okay, maybe just comments.
Yeah.
I think you are the only team that's really considered biodiversity. In fact, I mean the fact that the project is right in the middle of Coney Island, you did mention about the decision on whether to use native species and all this. It's very useful. Strike bonds. And maybe just one clarification. Are you targeting at Green Mark Platinum or SLE? Because you mentioned SLE, solar energy building.
So for this question, we are at concept stage. So for this, we actually planned to be PEB at first, and we had a lot of difficulties. And then we tried ZEB, and it was also very difficult. Green Mark Platinum, honestly, because we do not have a very good model for wood in Singapore yet, we are trying to follow through the wave. We understand there's new projects coming up, but we believe that based on our energy calculations, we can achieve SLEB because it's 38% out of the pie chart. So that's one of our targets. Green Mark Platinum, we would love to achieve that, but honestly, we haven't gone through to all the ETDV calculations to achieve that calculations at the concept stage. Thank you.
So for me, I think the key takeaway is that I think you are the only one so far. Talk about the occupants of the this space, which is a startup, and what is the process of this startup, we're likely to go through from year 1, year 2 to year 3 onwards. I thought it's very good, yeah. So you're actually designing the space for the intended user. That is something that
yeah, I think to piggyback off that idea, I feel that the scheme kind of marries quite successfully the different components of what we are looking for. A good design that responds to the site and to the design brief well. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised, for instance, the pretty sophisticated level of thinking as well, considering landscape design, which is, I think, also the first time we've seen this today. And thinking of it from conceptualizing it for how the end users will use it, designing it, thinking of how to build it, how to operate it. I think it's a pretty thoughtful and thorough way of going through a design project. I think I also want to commend the team for very, very well presented scheme in terms of how thorough and clearly how much effort has been invested to produce what we just saw.
I'll just add to my fellow judges my comments. First, the entirety is very sensitive in many various aspects. So first, like what we have already mentioned, the sensitivity to your intended occupant, the sensitivity of being a startup, how many years you go, and then when you have how much money to get, how much you pay. That sensitivity is, I won't talk about the money portion, but I think the sensitivity of what you need to consider the cost. The next thing that I thought that was very good was the entire presentation was extremely well curated. Down to the last person who was talking with the video. It sounds like the presenter that I see on TV. Low, voluminous, it's very well curated, I have to say, okay? Then perhaps just on the side thought that was not mentioned, but I would just want to highlight that the spatial quality that you showed within your design, the interior design, the perspective to give you all the mood, gave rise to additional rationalization of why you are using MET because of the site context. It gives you this very resorty, you're in an island kind of idea. So that is really good. The spatial quality plus the tectonic feel of the MET, I think it was a deliberate idea to keep it as it is, which is the raw wood finish that you have. We fact that you use the material is good. The second thing that was even more interesting is about biophilia, the design of nature play for the children. So that's something that is even, this is a sensitivity to the design that that is not common. Okay. So come the questions. Okay. That's always questions. I see in your, while it's very, very small in your energy calculation table, right? You are using two types of fan. The VS, and I assume the other fan is a ceiling fan. Can you elaborate how are you using the fans?
So for the big ass one, right?
Actually, do you know what is the actual technical term for? Because Big S is a brand. Anyway, answer the question.
No, sorry. But the big one is intended for the auditorium because it's not an enclosed space, and for the others, standard fans will be installed in the sohos.
Why?
I can add on to that because we have automated facades add-ons to the facade of the building. So in fact, we're able to actually open up the facade such that natural ventilation can actually enter the building. So people need not rely on air conditioning that much actually. So they can actually enjoy being in one with nature as well because it's just right outside.
Yeah, and the design, maybe we can go to the screen, the interior renders. Yeah, this one, as you can see from the bottom picture, that's the bottom left, you can see like how we kind of try to consider the issues of like rain, the natural filtration of sunlight, and then the issue of how it's automated because we're envisioning like a high-tech kind of cooperation. So the idea that it's automated, it's one thing, and it can be manually controlled is another, and that we try to create this vernacular aspect towards the spaces instead of just really just proposing electrical means of cooling. So yeah, thank you. I hope that answers the question.
Well, actually, I sort of can guess, but I want to hear it from you guys. Is there anything else that I need to know? Second thing, you all mentioned that your natural ventilation wanted to rely on a stacked ventilation, right? So what is the basis of a stacked ventilation for a 5-story building? One more slide up. Down, yeah. This is, you're using the passive means of the stacked ventilation, right? Hot air risers. Is this what you're saying? Correct, right? So what is your, do you understand the...
Actually, we created voids such that cool air can actually rise up through the void.
Hot air.
Hot air can actually rise up through the void. So creating convection currents within the building as well.
Okay. Like the delta T that I was referring earlier, but that one was speaking about water, but hot air is the same. If there's insufficient delta T, the temperature difference between the bottom and the top, like hot air was not right. Something that you want to look into slightly further. But just for the sake of discussion, right? Okay. You asked about engineering fair. By the way, I'm not an engineer. I just like to talk. So basically, the temperature difference between here and here is probably the best minimum of 8 degrees, 10 degrees difference in order for the stack to work naturally. So in order, if you want this to work, you might want to think about some mechanical means on the top part, a small energy extraction fan to help you to cool the air a little bit. If not for a 5-story building, the air is not going to, not by the heat stack anyway.
Thanks for sharing.
Any other comments? If not, we'll let them go. Because he's a judge, right?
Okay. If you really notice very carefully in the report, we actually went for a site visit to understand how our sponsor actually does the construction and I believe this is at Commonwealth. So if you see the report, there's a safety. So what we wanted to do is that our AR and VR is very client-centric, and let's say assuming if you saw our Navy's work, actually it starts work tomorrow, 27, until 9 months later, March, it will be complete. So we just wanted to show you guys that we are actually ready. In fact, we already fabricated the model, the modules, and you can see that there's a SOHO unit with two Type A and Type B put together. And we just want to show that if, let's say, you all actually sponsor us and pay us in a sense, simulation, but we are ready to take this on if we are given the project. And why we work really because maybe my interior designer want to share one word or two.
So about WeWork, I think is for the co-share office. I don't think it's particularly specifically for the aesthetic as well. So for WeWork, I think like individual like you and I will go into space and start a business and stuff. I think it's more about a collaboration rather than the aesthetics. So you and I to build a greater part of we. So it's like a catalyst of community.
Just on the set point of because she just highlighted that you are incorporated your PVC together with them. What is the roof height at your roof? Your roof level is the garden, right? So what is your height at the roof garden?
Actually, up to the mechanical room level at the rooftop, we have our rainwater tanks over there. It's actually 22 meters.
This level is 22.
The highest. Yeah. Oh, maybe I think in the report we actually state down the levels. Maybe you can refer to that as well.
Okay, just a side note. If you are using structure, the MVP